Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Today's topic is going to be, and what do you think about that? So we'll get to that in a minute. The days are getting away from me. Plus it was raining today, so I couldn't shoot outside. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. Breathe in something positive you want, and exhale something negative you don't want. Breathe in the bravery. Exhale the fear. So, what do you think about that? This one's all about thinking. You know, the stuff that happens in our head that usually gets us in trouble, or often does. I wouldn't say usually. So thinking. Thinking leads to emotions. Emotions lead to physical changes. You know, like sometimes we get sad and other times we get angry. Physical changes, tension, tight. So emotions, physical, and thinking, they're all intertwined. So what do you think about that? If something really pisses you off, does it need to? If something gets you angry or makes you sad or puts you into despair and fear, do you need to? Thoughts are just thoughts. They don't have any meaning to them except for the meaning that we give them. And so we don't have to take our thinking so seriously. If you have a thought that says, oh my God, this, or that is going to happen, or I hope that doesn't happen, you don't have to take those thoughts seriously. You don't have to believe them. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. We have 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. And is it possible that many of them are either not true or not helpful, or both? And so why do we take our thoughts so seriously? Why do we linger and ruminate and repeat those negative, fearful, dark thoughts that just leave us feeling in despair? So when I say, what do you think about that? I mean, what do you think about your life? What do you think about yourself? What do you think about your symptoms or pains? Because if you are generally going through the day in a very low energy emotional state, it's likely because that's where your mental state is. If you're having low energy, low mood type of thoughts, it's no wonder you're feeling those low moods and low energy. And when you're feeling like that, how do you feel physically? Kind of run down, beat up, right? So what do you think about that? Well, I'm not one of these positive thinking, rainbows and unicorns type of person, because I don't think that's reality. You know, I think there's some programs out there that say stay in a state of elation. No negative thoughts at all. And I think that's kind of BS. I don't think that's possible. You know, we are going to have negative thoughts, but we don't have to take them seriously. We don't have to entertain them. If a negative thought is coming by, you can literally just let it go by. You don't have to invite it into your house and sit with it all day long and think about it and talk about it and ruminate on it. I mean, it's just not that important. So, what do you think about that? If you notice you're in a bad mood, feeling down, take a step back and go, well, what are my thoughts doing? And all of this is really about awareness. Because in some cases, we don't know that the bad emotional state, the bad physical state, is really driven a lot of times by our bad emotional state. Now, don't get me wrong. It can start in any of the other two states as well. You know, if you have searing pain, crazy symptoms, yes, that can start our thoughts spinning wildly. And it can also, like if you're just feeling sad about something, that can absolutely get our physical state, and thereby our thinking. So again, emotions, body, mind are all interconnected. It's one system. So, what do you think about that? What do you think about this concept that you have the ability to not take one of these three key components of our system? You have the ability to take one of those key components not so seriously, not believe them. And when you realize that you can have negative thoughts, but you don't have to do anything with them, the spin cycle between bad thinking to bad emotions to bad physical state and loop. Well, if you just remove the need to believe these negative thoughts and take them seriously, all of a sudden you're missing one of those spokes in this 3-spoke wheel, and things don't spin as fast, and things can kind of slow down, and you can kind of return to balance a little bit. So when I say, what do you think about that? Just evaluate. Where are my thoughts going on a regular basis? If they're going into freak out town, you're probably not going to be feeling better physically or emotionally. If they're going into this place of reassurance and calm and this can-do attitude type of thoughts, guess what's going to happen to your mood, your emotions? It's going to lift, right? And when your mood and your emotions lift, your body kind of follows suit. So all three of these really need some awareness. And when you have awareness, you can make gentle shifts. So I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you're aware of your emotional state, being agitated, feel them. If you're aware of your physical state, being elevated and tense and tight, breathe. Let your shoulders relax. Let your body relax, your neck, your wherever you're holding tension. Let it relax and breathe. And if you're noticing your mental state going on that spin cycle, let it fly past. You don't have to do anything with it. So, and the mental state really leads to the mindset of indifference. And when everybody goes, yeah, but I can't be indifferent. Well, if you know that you have TMS, it's easier to become indifferent. At least stay out of the freak out zone. Because the freak out zone is when the mental state goes haywire and the emotional state gets dragged down with it. And when you're in that state, your physical state's going to be pretty crappy too. So stay out of the freak out zone. So just take a moment, evaluate your thoughts. You don't have to fix them. But if you're feeling down emotionally or physically, take a step back and go, well, where have my thoughts been? I think that's really important to just have awareness so that you can choose not to entertain them and repeat them and ruminate on them. And you may find that by just pulling out that one key factor, you start to feel better all around. So, I'm going to wrap this one up. Love you guys and gals, and I will see you tomorrow.